You know, one of the biggest mistakes people make when they have a dream is talking about it too early. You tell your plans to the wrong people and suddenly the energy changes. You were excited, you were motivated, but then someone says, "That's impossible." And just like that, your passion starts to fade. I've learned in life, not everyone will understand your vision, not because they are bad people, but because it's not their vision. You were given the idea, the passion, the calling, not them. So why do you expect them to believe in something they cannot see? When I started Alibaba, people laughed. They said, "Jack, you don't even know how to code. You don't know business. You don't have money. You're just a school teacher." But I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I kept quiet and I kept working. There's power in silence. Real power. Not everything needs to be shared. Not everything needs applause. Some things grow better in the dark. Like a seed buried deep in the soil, your plans need time to take root. But what do most people do? They dig up the seed every day to show everyone, look, I'm doing something. And they kill it before it ever has a chance to grow. The truth is, people can't destroy what they don't know. When you talk too much, you expose your dreams to judgment, to jealousy, to sabotage. Some people don't want you to grow, not because they hate you, but because your success reminds them of their failures. They will discourage you, not because you can't do it, but because they didn't. Don't give them that power. I tell young people, work hard in silence, let success make the noise. When you're building something great, it doesn't need to be broadcasted. You don't need to impress anyone. Impress yourself. Be proud of how far you've come without needing validation. The world doesn't owe you a round of applause. Earn it. With results. With resilience. Sometimes the most dangerous thing is not failure. It's attention. The more people know what you're doing, the more pressure you feel to perform. The more eyes on you, the harder it becomes to focus. You start chasing approval instead of purpose. That's how people lose their path. Not because they weren't good enough, but because they were too loud, too soon. Your plan is like a fire. In the beginning, it's just a spark. You need to protect it from the wind. Don't let the noise blow it out. Don't let other people's doubts extinguish your flame. Protect it until it becomes strong enough to burn on its own. Then let it shine. You see, I failed so many times. Rejected by Harvard 10 times. Rejected by jobs. I wasn't special, but I learned how to protect my vision. I didn't shout about it. I didn't post about it. I just did the work. Day by day, quietly, and the world noticed when it was time. So if you have a dream, guard it, nurture it, believe in it so deeply that you don't need anyone else to clap for you. And when it's time, when it's truly ready, the world won't just notice, it will never forget. One of the most common mistakes people make when they start dreaming big is this. They talk too much, too soon. The moment they get an idea, a vision, a goal, they feel this uncontrollable urge to tell the world, to tell their friends, their family, their social media followers. It feels exciting, it feels empowering, but let me tell you, this excitement can be dangerous. Why? Because when you share your plans too early, you expose them to people who may not understand, may not care, or even worse, may want to see you fail. When I was starting Alibaba, I had a vision, a big one. I wanted to build an internet company in China that would help small businesses grow. But back then, in 1999, almost no one in China believed in the internet. They laughed at me. They told me I was dreaming too big. Some said, "Jack, you're just a teacher. You don't know anything about business or technology." I didn't argue. I didn't try to explain. I just kept going, quietly, because I realized something early in life. Your dream is fragile in the beginning. It's like a small plant. If you plant a seed and dig it up every day to show people, "Look, it's growing," it will never survive. It needs time, it needs nurturing, it needs patience, and most importantly, it needs protection. You see, not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some people pretend to support you, but deep down, your ambition makes them uncomfortable. Your growth reminds them of what they gave up on. And so they'll say things like, "That's too risky," "You're not smart enough," or "You should think more realistically." These comments may seem harmless, but they plant doubts in your mind. And doubts, they're like poison for your dream. You must learn to move in silence. When you're working on something meaningful, don't seek approval. Don't try to impress anyone. Impress yourself. Do the work, day in and day out. Whether people believe in you or not, doesn't matter. What matters is that you believe. It's not just about protecting your dream from negativity. It's also about avoiding the trap of talking more than doing. Talking about your goal can give you a false sense of achievement. It tricks your brain into thinking you've already made progress, but you haven't. You've only talked. You've only imagined. Real growth doesn't come from conversations. It comes from consistent action. So be careful. Not every idea needs to be shared. Not every plan needs to be posted online. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing and just build. I always tell young people, your vision is your secret weapon. Don't give it away too early. Protect it like treasure. Share it only when it's strong enough to stand on its own. When the results start to show, trust me, the world will see. You won't have to say a word. Your success will speak louder than anything you could have said. So the next time you feel the urge to tell everyone what you're about to do, stop. Ask yourself, is it stronger inside me, or am I just trying to get attention? Let your hunger grow in silence. Let your plans take root underground, and when the time is right, let the world be shocked. Not because you told them what was coming, but because you let your success say it for you. Let me tell you a hard truth. Your vision is yours alone. It wasn't sent to your friends, your parents, or your teachers. It was sent to you. So why do we expect others to understand something that only we can see? When I first talked about building Alibaba, even my closest friends didn't understand me. Some smiled politely, some laughed, others thought I had completely lost my mind. And honestly, I don't blame them. I was a school teacher with no background in technology. I had no money, no connections, no fancy degrees. All I had was a dream, a clear vision that one day, small businesses in China could use the internet to grow and compete globally. But to most people, that vision was impossible. They couldn't see it, they didn't feel it, because the truth is, they weren't meant to. And that's where many people go wrong. The moment they hear rejection or confusion from others, they start doubting themselves. They think, maybe they're right, maybe I'm being unrealistic. And little by little, their belief begins to fade, their fire starts to go out. All because they expected someone else to understand a dream that wasn't theirs to begin with. You have to stop looking for validation from people who were never supposed to get it. You have to stop expecting applause from an audience that isn't even watching the same movie. When the dream was born inside you, it came with a certain clarity, a vision that only you can feel. That's your gift. That's your responsibility. And honestly, that's your test. Most people won't see the mountain you're trying to climb. They'll only see the dirt on your shoes. They won't see the destination. They'll only notice how far you still have to go. But don't let that discourage you. In fact, let it fuel you. Because when people don't understand your dream, it means you're doing something different, something bold, something that matters. Remember, the Wright brothers were told man would never fly. Elon Musk was told electric cars were a joke. Steve Jobs was told nobody would ever want a computer in their pocket. And me, I was told the internet would never work in China. Imagine if we had all listened. If I had waited for others to believe in me before I took action, Alibaba would never exist. I didn't need 100 people to support me. I just needed one person who wouldn't give up, me. Sometimes the only belief that matters is your own. When people say, I don't get it, say, that's okay, you're not supposed to. When they say, why don't you just take the safe path? Say, because I wasn't born to be safe. I was born to do something meaningful. You don't need permission to dream big. You don't need everyone to clap. You just need to keep moving, even when no one understands where you're going. You see, people can only understand your dream after it's real, after the work is done, after the results show. Then they'll say, wow, I always knew you could do it. But by then, it won't matter, because you won't be doing it for them. You'll be doing it for the person who believed when no one else did, you. So hold your vision close, guard it from those who can't see, and remember, just because others don't understand your path doesn't mean you're lost. It just means you're the only one with the map. In today's world, everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants to be heard. Social media has made it easy to announce every move we make. I'm starting a business. I'm writing a book. I'm working on something big. But the truth is, the louder you are about your plans, the more fragile they become. There is real power in silence, a kind of strength that the world underestimates. When I was building Alibaba, I didn't go around telling everyone, one day, this company will become one of the biggest in the world. No, I stayed quiet. I focused on the work. I let the results speak, because I knew words can be cheap, but action is everything. People often misunderstand silence. They think being quiet means you're not confident. They think if you're not posting, not announcing, not shouting your vision from rooftops, maybe you don't believe in it. But let me ask you something. Do lions roar while they're hunting? No, they move quietly, patiently, powerfully. The roar comes after the kill. Silence gives you space to think. It gives you freedom to change direction without judgment. When you make your goals public too early, you lock yourself in. You become afraid of changing your mind, afraid of failing, because now everyone's watching. But when you move in silence, you have room to grow, room to fail, room to learn, and most importantly, room to focus. Let me tell you a story. When I first gathered my team to start Alibaba, we worked in a small apartment in Hangzhou, 13 people. No air conditioning, no funding, no fame, but we had heart, we had belief, and we had focus. We weren't on stages giving speeches. We weren't chasing interviews. We were just working, day and night, quietly building something no one else believed in. We didn't make noise. We made progress. That's the beauty of silence. It protects your energy. It shields your dream from the noise of the world, because the world is full of distractions. People who will doubt you, criticize you, or even try to steal your ideas, but they can't destroy what they don't know exists. Your silence becomes your shield. You also learn more in silence. When you're not busy talking, you're listening, observing, analyzing, growing. I've learned more by being quiet in a meeting than speaking in one. Because when you're quiet, you see what others miss. You see what's behind the words. You hear the truth between the lines. And there's something else. Silence builds mystery, and mystery builds respect. When people don't know what you're doing, they wonder. When you show results without announcing your every step, you gain attention without begging for it. You rise without noise. And when the time is right, when the foundation is strong, then, and only then, do you let the world hear your voice, but not before. Young people often ask me, Jack, what's the fastest way to succeed? And I tell them, stop talking so much and start doing more. Talk less, execute more, announce less, achieve more. Because in the end, people won't remember what you said you would do. They'll remember what you actually did. So if you have a dream, protect it with your silence. Work on it quietly. Build it like no one's watching. Because when you finally succeed, your results will make the noise. Your success will become the announcement, and the world will listen. Not because you shouted, but because you delivered. Let me be very honest with you. Not everyone who gives you advice has good intentions. In fact, many people will discourage you, not because your dream is impossible, but because they gave up on theirs. You have to understand something important about human nature. People often speak from their own experiences, their own limitations, and their own regrets. So when you tell them about your dream, that you want to build a business, become an artist, change the world, their response is not really about you. It's about them. It's about their fear, their failure, their pain, and sometimes they don't want to see you succeed because it reminds them that they didn't try hard enough. When I told people I wanted to start an internet company in China in the 1990s, they laughed. They said, Jack, you're not from Silicon Valley. You don't even know how to code. How will you compete with the world? But what they really meant was, I don't believe I could do that, so neither can you. Their doubt was a reflection of their own fear, not the truth. And if I had listened to them, there would be no Alibaba, no Taobao, no Ant Financial. I would have stayed in my comfort zone, playing small to make others feel big. But I decided their story is not my story. Their failures do not define my future. You have to be strong enough to separate real feedback from projected fear. Yes, sometimes people will give you advice because they care. But many times, it's not really advice. It's discouragement dressed as concern. They'll say things like, I'm just being realistic, or I don't want you to get hurt. But in reality, they're just uncomfortable with your ambition. That's why you must be very careful who you listen to. Don't take advice from people who never went where you're trying to go. Don't let small minds convince you that your big dream is too much. You are not limited by their experiences. Let me give you a simple truth. The people who truly believe in you will never try to shrink your vision. They will challenge you, yes. They will push you to improve, but they will never try to kill your dream just because it makes them uncomfortable. So when someone says, you can't do it, smile politely and keep going. When they say, that's too difficult, say, then I'll become stronger. When they say, that's never been done before, say, then I'll be the first. Their words are not your wall, unless you let them be. Remember this, You were not born to live out someone else's limitations. You were born to create your own path, no matter how unfamiliar it looks to others. So don't let their fears become your reality. Let their doubt become your fuel. Talk less. Do more. That's the rule. Too many people waste energy trying to impress others with words, telling everyone what they're going to do, what they plan to build, and how great their future looks. But talk doesn't build empires. Action does. Results do. You don't need to announce every step you take. You don't need to convince people you're doing something amazing. You just need to do it, quietly, relentlessly, day after day. While others are watching Netflix, scrolling, talking, you're building, you're growing. You're preparing for the moment when the results speak so loudly, no words are needed. I always say, when Alibaba was born, nobody cared, nobody clapped, nobody believed. And that was perfect, because we had no pressure to perform, only the hunger to prove ourselves. We didn't chase attention, we chased progress. And when we finally succeeded, the world noticed, not because we told them, but because we showed them. Let your work be your voice. Let your results be your speech. Let your success make the noise. Because when you speak too soon, you invite judgment. But when you let your actions speak, you earn respect. The loudest people are rarely the most successful. The quiet ones, they're too busy doing the work. So move in silence, build without permission, grow without applause. Then one day, without warning, you'll be everywhere. And the same people who doubted you will ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll smile, because you let your success answer for you. Every dream starts small, like a tiny spark. It's delicate, fragile, easily blown out. And in those first moments, that little spark needs one thing more than anything: protection. You see, when a fire is just starting, a small gust of wind can kill it. The same happens with your goals. When your dream is new, when you're still figuring things out, when the path ahead is uncertain, even a little bit of doubt, a little negativity, or one harsh word from the wrong person can make you second guess everything. That's why I always say, protect your spark. When I started Alibaba, we were just a group of ordinary people with an extraordinary idea. No investors, no big offices, no media attention, just belief and a spark. If I had gone around bragging about what we were going to build, that spark might have died. The criticism, the doubt, the pressure, it could have smothered the dream before it even had a chance to grow. Instead, we kept our heads down. We focused, we built quietly, and that spark turned into a flame. Your dream needs time to develop strength. Don't rush to expose it. Don't put it out there for the world to judge before it's ready. People are quick to dismiss what they don't understand. Some will tell you it's never been done. Others will say, why not play it safe? But those voices don't come from your vision. They come from their fear. Remember, even the biggest fire starts with a single flame. And in the beginning, your only job is to keep it alive. That means staying away from negative people. That means limiting distractions. That means doing the work every single day, even when no one is watching, even when no one believes, even when you're tired, scared, and alone. Because if you can protect that spark long enough, it will catch, it will grow, and one day it will become a fire so strong, nothing will be able to put it out. But you must be patient. Don't expect the world to understand your fire when all they can see is a flicker. Don't waste your energy trying to prove yourself too soon. Let your dream grow in silence. Let it burn slowly. Let it find its fuel in your discipline, your faith, your refusal to quit. And here's the beautiful part. Once your fire is strong enough, it won't just warm you. It will light the way for others. People will look at what you've built and say, I want to do something like that. Your fire will become a signal, a source of hope, a legacy. But it all starts with that spark. So if you're holding on to a dream, protect it. Don't shout it from the rooftops just yet. Keep it close. Feed it with work. Shield it from the wind. And believe, even when no one else does.